Welcome to the Passion Professors Podcast, hosted by Earth.University, where stories of life experiences and purpose inspire and unite humanity. Here's your host, Lindsay Andreotti.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Passion Professor Podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Andreotti, and I have with me today the truly amazing and talented ninja and stunt woman and friend to a lot of incredible people, Miss Jessie Graff. Jessie, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's such my pleasure. You have no idea. I had the luxury of meeting Jessie earlier in 2020, when before COVID happened, or just about the time COVID did happen, everyone was in the mode of pivot, including the American Ninja Warrior TV show and our Earth.University programming, and everything just went, whoa. And I think that 2020 has turned out to be a year of, holy cow, did that really happen? Yeah. And Jessie and I were just chatting about that, and I thought it would be really fun to have her share her passion for who she is right now and what she's overcome just in this past year. Jessie, tell us a little bit about what you're noticing is your purpose and passion right now.
Right now. Well, I think right now is so different from usual, I think, which is true for a lot of people.
So true.
But part of what defines what I'm passionate about right now is how it has shifted from the usual. Like, I am a person who has known since I was 3 years old exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to climb everything and fly. And initially that meant join the circus, which I didn't get to do because I wrote to all the circuses when I was 10 and they all ignored me, except Ringling Brothers, who told me I should finish school. And I was very upset.
Oh,
guys, I'm ready. My bag is packed. I'm like, this is my life plan.
Love it.
And so I've followed that passion through everything, like gymnastics and pole vaulting. And then, I've been a stunt woman for 13 years now. And I am just so in love with that feeling of, it's not just adrenaline, it's being able to focus through the adrenaline of like being able to, fall 50 feet and in the air, be alert to everything that's going on around you and like be acting in the air. Or if you get thrown out a window and there's like an I-beam off to your side because you got thrown sideways through the glass window. And so you're going towards the beam and like shoving off. And like, that's what I love.
You are amazing.
Thank you. And then, ninja is just another branch of that, of testing my limits, getting as strong as I possibly can, pushing, growing, testing, like, what's the maximum that I think I can do, and then try to break that. And that's what I've been passionate about my whole life. Testing my physical limits, being resourceful on the way to getting there, having strategy, and then exceeding my own expectations. And getting to do that on Ninja Warrior in front of so many little girls who are now looking up to me and being like, look, women can be strong and we can do so much more than people think.
Yeah.
Has just been like beyond what I initially wanted for myself. I just wanted to do this stuff. And now I get to lead little girls through it, until I started having all these injuries building up, because when you're pushing those limits all the time, how do you know when you're crossing that limit? And I was just repeatedly over and over crossing that limit. So
what did you learn about that this year in the crossing the limit? Everybody feels this way. We all get out on our trail of doing what we love to do. And then there comes this time where you're like, I am saturated. Like, I've done everything I can. And I'm like almost to the point of detriment now, which is what you're pointing to.
So far beyond that. I went, I think it was the end of 2019, actually, when I went to the doctors, because I was like, I'm getting worse. I'm spending 2 hours a day doing physical therapy and strength training and stabilizing my joints. And I have tendonitis, bulging discs in my neck. My right shoulder has like 4 different tears in it. I don't know what to do. Like, there's nothing more I can do. And I was looking at getting stem cell I was going to get surgery. I was like, this shoulder is not working. I need surgery. And then the Titan Games came up. And so it was like, I was already running on fumes when I got this amazing opportunity, and like a burst of adrenaline of like, okay, I can sprint through this, I can get through this, and then have my surgery. And then I got through that. And then it was like, what if you did ninja just like one more time before? And I was like, nope, bad idea. I'm not doing it. And I just couldn't resist. And I ended up getting COVID happen, and everything was canceled for who knows how long. So I got stem cell injections to be like, okay, well, maybe this will be enough. Like, I've strengthened so much through Titan Games. Maybe stem cells will heal it. So I got them in my neck and my shoulder and in my tendonitis, and had, 2 months to just recover and start rebuilding. And then it came again. And I was like, I am so not ready for this, but what if I'll just build as much strength as I can and see what happens. And I knew I wasn't ready. But I also couldn't resist. And so in competition, really rough couple days, started out going pretty well. I was able to hit the buzzer in the first round and was like, okay, like I'm still me. I can still do this stuff.
I saw that episode, by the way, just so you know. Very fun to watch. It was very
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
I was so excited. And
right.
And I knew, I knew I wasn't at my peak though. And it's always hard going into competition, knowing that like there are expectations that you're a certain strength, and that like, I'm just not there right now. So I was being as strategic as I could. I had been working on my cardio, so I had a little more strength in that area, but my grip wasn't as strong. Anyway, in the course of 5 days, I think, I tore my ACL, subluxed my right shoulder, and tore the rotator cuff in my left.
Oh my goodness.
It was like my body had been running on fumes for so long. And even during that rest period, it just like, there's only so much stem cells can do if you have tears. And so
you'll have to recover. Yeah.
Yeah. So both shoulders happened at the same time. This one came partially out of the socket, so I almost didn't notice this one because it was just one tear, the supraspinatus.
Amazing.
And I had a sense for a long time that like I'm being very like I'm in one little area. I'm so hyper focused. I know there's more parts of my life that I need to be embracing, more ways that I need to be growing, but I'm not quite strong. Like I have to get back to full strength and stabilize my joints, and then I can focus on those other things. And I could feel it growing, like more and more need to become a more well-rounded person. And it was like, I would start my set of pull-ups and be like, if I can beat my record from last week, then I'm okay. And if I couldn't beat my record, then it was just like, who are you anymore? Who are you if you can't do 36 pull-ups today? I don't know. And like, it was just, it would grow more and more and be like, you need to figure out who you are outside of this.
Yes.
Right after you do your pull-ups. And this went on for so long. And
oh my gosh. Yeah. You were avoiding finding the full you. Yeah.
I was.
Nice.
I don't think I was afraid of it. Like I really wanted that. It's just that I was afraid of breaking. If I wasn't strong enough, I knew that my joints were too vulnerable.
Totally.
And it's just, I was going about it the wrong way, I think. Or I really needed the surgery.
Yeah.
And putting off the surgery in this shoulder resulted in everything. Like the other knee, the other shoulder. It was a lot.
It's all connected, right? You know, I mean, so often I see this, it's one thing that we don't do. And we always look back and go, ooh, it was that thing, but it's the beginning of the undoing of so many other things. And you got a cosmic timeout to heal your physical body, right? And in that time frame, you could work on your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. So tell us what you've been doing that has shifted, because I know there's some good stuff in there.
It's so interesting. And when I let my mind shift to like, okay, you had these plans, those are gone.
Yes.
What are you going to do now? What are you excited about? What have you been wanting to do that you haven't looked at? And it was just like this endless list of so many things I wanted to learn. And the first week after surgery, I was a little disappointed. I was like, man, I thought you were excited. Like, why can't you focus? The answer is because it hurt a lot. Just like
pain.
it was like on August 3rd, I had ACL surgery, which is pretty gnarly. 8 days later, I was able to hobble enough to get off of crutches and have my right shoulder done. It was 3 different surgeries in one. And it was just so much. I was in a sling. I could barely walk. So for 2 weeks, I was not particularly functional. It was like an ambitious day. It was like, I'm going to get up and hobble
to the fridge
5 minutes.
Yeah, I can get to the bathroom. This is good.
That wasn't it. Oh man, going to the bathroom in the middle of the night when like you can't use crutches, but you can't walk. It's just like, it was really hard. And then
it was complicated.
The first couple of days I would have to like, my mom was staying with me and she was in the room next door. And so I'd like bang on the wall with my crutch. She was like, wake me up if you need anything. Cause I'd go to the bathroom and come back and be like, I can't get into bed.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to get on my bed right now.
Oh,
it was
that's incredible. Yeah. I mean, talk about pushing your limits and finding resourcefulness to get past what would have been to the average. That would have killed the ordinary woman. I'm sure of it. What you went through was intense. Yeah.
It was rough. And then of course, 2 months later, realizing that the other shoulder needed surgery and was like, oh my God, I thought we were done with this.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yeah. So it's like, and now I'm 5 months out of this one.
Okay.
5.5 months out of this one. And 10 and a half weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, I am so busy and my life is so full of all these new things that I've been doing. And it's so exciting. I actually feel more alive and engaged with all the new things I'm doing.
Yeah.
Than I did before when I was in my little box of like, we do these exercises and then these and then this, and then you have this for lunch and then you do this exercise and then is your cardio. It's like, I'm outside of my box and my brain is so much more engaged. Like I feel so much smarter. Like before I would get emails and be like, I don't know, just, I can't deal with this. And I mean, I still get overwhelmed by email sometimes, but now if I come to something and I'm like, oh, I don't understand that. Google, what does this mean? And then I learn, and like this little chart is like, I'm working on this because I learned like, how does ATP break down? And I was like, okay, I get that. That's easy. But how does that fit into the big picture? So I would Google that and then like find more pieces and be like, okay, I have like 8 different things. How does that fit into a map? And so then I'm like, one of the other ninjas, her name is Amy, and she's a registered dietitian. She has like a master's degree in this stuff. And so I'll send her a video being like, okay, so glycogen is the stored form of glucose. How does it convert? Like how many glucoses are in a glycogen and how much glycogen can the muscle store? And does it take energy to make glucose into glycogen? And how long does that last?
Oh, that's so cool. You are so like fun about learning. I mean, you're just like absorbing all this stuff and Amy responds.
And it's like my brain has gained capacity to do all of that.
Right.
And so I had this list of things that I wanted to learn. And now it's like, as I'm healing, I'm like, I need to learn more before I'm fully healthy, because my job is still training.
Yeah.
And being strong and performing and all this stuff. And so when I have less time, like, how am I going to keep learning all this stuff? And so I'm in that like time crunch again of like, I want to learn it all.
Oh, be careful what you wish for. What are 3 things that you're learning right now? Let's tell everybody what you're focusing on right now. Yeah.
So I just finished my nutrition certification.
Sweet.
SSA. But I'm also going back and I'm like, okay, I have to understand this in way more detail. And so I should get my test results back any day now.
Cool.
And sign language. I've always wanted to learn sign language. So I've been doing a series every Sunday at noon with my friend Kyle. He's known as the Deaf Ninja on Instagram. He's a competitor on Ninja Warrior. And every Sunday we'll just talk for an hour.
Oh, that's so fun.
So, and now I'm at the point where I can mostly have a slow conversation in sign, and I'll get to a word where I don't know it. And so I'll finger spell it. And then he'll show me how to do it. And then he'll be explaining something and he'll be signing the whole thing. And I'll be like, wait. How did you sign ADJUST? And he'll be like, okay, it's like this. It's like change, but like just a little bit. And so as I'm learning, and I'll have to review, and I'll be like, wait, okay, what was the one you said? Tell me again, ADJ. And so it's kind of like anyone who's watching, and we have anywhere from like 1 to 200 people at any given time that are just tuning in and watching us. And I hope that they're all signing along with us, but it kind of goes at a fun conversational pace where we can't go faster than a person can learn by accident and just like spew a bunch of vocab, because I can't keep up with that. So I'm keeping the pace slow enough that someone can learn. And so we've saved all the episodes. So if someone wanted to learn, it's not completely from the beginning, because I took a class in high school, so like 20 years ago. So I had a foundation. But at the beginning, you can see we're mostly talking and I'm learning a sign here and there. And now it's like we're mostly signing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I would love to do that with you guys. When are you on Sundays at noon? Is that what you said?
Sundays at noon Pacific time.
Okay. How fun is that?
I'm having so much fun. And so then
we'll make sure that's in the description box below so people can join you.
And then clap and sign language.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Jazz hands.
Yes.
Also, you have to tell everybody about your shoe. What you're learning about they're waiting patiently for this idea about the shoe. So
yeah. So, okay. So one of my biggest problems in stunts is like, the thing I love about it is being able to work with the stunt coordinator and my stunt teammates to come up with like a really cool scene and flashy fights and flips and all these movements. And we practice it and it looks great. And then they hand me my skinny jeans and high heels. And then we move out onto the gravel, and it's like, well, did you want the side flip and spin kick, or did you want the heels? And it's like, it's my job to figure out how to do both. And so, if you give me like really unstable shoes, I'm going to do my best, but it's going to look clunky. And so I've always been like, well, but can't there be just like a shoe that's the shape of a heel and has like a fake heel that's kind of just like hanging there? So on a flash of camera, it still looks like you're wearing a heel, but in reality, you can drop your heel anytime you need to. And they always say, no, that's not a thing. Like, why? Of course, that's not a thing. No, like we have the flat boots that look kind of like the ones we want, but we don't want to see those. We always want to see the heel. And so I sat down with some cardboard and duct tape and tried to make what I envisioned. And so I have a little prototype that I made with cardboard and duct tape.
Woohoo!
And I put like this little pen spring, which is now squashed, because if I were producing this for real, we would need something much better than a spring that I pulled out of a pen. But you can see it's just like, it's literally cardboard.
Literally, but I love it. That's amazing.
And so yeah, and I guess I don't even know if I can put this where you can see it.
I think what's cool about it is that there's going to be some entrepreneur who's watching, who's like really into shoes, and that person's going to get in touch with you and go, I know how to make your shoes.
Yes, that's what I need. I'm like setting this so you can see the shoe.
Oh, this is so cool.
Oh, perfect.
We see your feet beautifully. Okay, so here she goes. She's going to show us the shoe. I love this. Oh,
so it mostly looks like a shoe. So keep in mind, the heel would be much better.
I know, we understand. This is a prototype, everyone.
So it only stays up like this when I'm standing on my toes, just like with this foot.
Right.
So I'm holding myself up, and as soon as I relax, it goes here. The toes stay up because they're shaped that way, but it has a little bit of flex if I push with my foot.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I come back up, and again, these are ruined because I've been playing with it. That pops down. So if I'm doing a flip, I can prep here.
Yeah.
And mid-air, it's still going to look like I'm in a heel.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And you know that the movies can make that look exactly the way it needs to.
Yeah.
Welcome to the art of television. Jessie, that's amazing. I mean, that's about resourcefulness and getting over the hurdle of, okay, so you want both, and I have to figure this out. I love what you've created and how your mind is working, and the constant learning is the message. Just keep learning. Even though your body's taking a break, your mind is going, I'll step in and I'll learn some more so we can do more. Yeah. And I just think that's incredible.
Never stop learning.
Oh, it's
a rule.
It's a rule. That's so good. Well, so how can people get in touch with you then? Would it be best for them to follow you on Instagram, or what would you like them to do?
Yeah, that's an easy way to do it for sure. I try to keep my Instagram up to date with all of my like physical therapy, rehab, tips on how to prepare for a shoulder surgery, a bunch of sign language stuff, because that's what I'm doing right now. Little tidbits about nutrition and whatever I'm learning in strength training. That's going to be my next certification.
Cool.
But so you can keep up with that on my Instagram or Facebook at Jessie Graff Power, JESSIEGRAFFPWR. But if it's like a business related inquiry, then you can email jessiebookings@gmail.com.
Okay.
And Jessie with an IE.
Yes, of course. And I'll put all of that in the description box below so that people can find you and get to know you. I just have to tell you, I think you're one of the most amazing human beings I've had the pleasure of getting to know over this past COVID year, and I'm appreciating your value and your high energy around continuous learning and becoming more, even if the thing you thought you were going to be doing got completely obliterated and or changed massively.
Derailed.
Right?
All plans derailed.
All plans, yeah.
The crazy thing is, like, even though in almost every way that you would normally define it, this has been like the worst year ever, it feels day to day like one of my best years ever.
Good.
Possibly the best. Like, my attitude feels like so high. And I'm so excited about everything I'm doing and learning and just the new ways that I'm engaging with the world. Like, I came out of a little bubble.
I love it. Well, you're a role model for all of us. And while I will probably never need these Stuntwoman shoes, I still think they're the coolest thing ever.
No, so it's not just like, that's why I want them.
Yeah.
But high heels do so much orthopedic damage to your foot.
I know.
And part of that is that you're in an unnatural position, relaxed. Whereas if you're up on your toes and all the muscles are engaged, you're actually strengthening and making your foot healthier. Okay. So for regular businesswomen going to and from work, this is a much healthier option. And it still satisfies that requirement of like looking a certain level of professional, assuming that I get someone to make them.
I have a feeling there's going to be someone who watches this who will get in touch with you. So it'll be amazing. But I actually do know a couple of people who are in the shoe world. So
do any of them make shoes out of like recycled material?
Maybe.
That would be even cooler.
Actually, maybe. So we will talk after the podcast. Oh my gosh. So for all of you who are watching today, I hope you will get in touch and follow Jessie Graff. She's amazing. You can see her on American Ninja Warrior. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook. And I just want you to know she is an amazing dynamo to follow because she's going to teach you something no matter where you are. So Jessie, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Really
Lindsay.
appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the Passion Professor podcast. Get in touch with us at Earth.University. Please like and subscribe and join us for the next session in another week. We'll be right back.